1 hit allowed. 6 innings. 0 runs. Eric Lauer walked into Dodger Stadium on Wednesday night and delivered one of the most dominant pitching performances of the entire 2026 season. Andy Pages gave him the lead with a home run in the first inning. Shohei Ohtani delivered the insurance with a 111-mile-per-hour RBI double in the sixth. And Edwin Diaz, returning from 85 days on the injured list, closed it out in the ninth. Dodgers 4. Mariners 2. The losing streak is over. The homestand is back on track. This is the complete story. Every verified fact. Right now. Welcome back to Baseball Tribune, the fastest, most accurate source for MLB news, analysis, and everything happening in the world of baseball. If this is your first time here, subscribe right now and turn on that notification bell, because we cover stories like this every single day and you do not want to miss what is coming. Tonight we are breaking down Game 2 of the Dodgers and Mariners series at Dodger Stadium, a game completely defined by an extraordinary pitching performance from Eric Lauer, timely contributions from Andy Pages and Shohei Ohtani, and the long-awaited return of closer Edwin Diaz from the injured list. This is exactly the kind of complete, professional team when the Dodgers needed after dropping back-to-back games, and it came at exactly the right moment with the August 3rd trade deadline just days away. We have the complete game breakdown, all the key moments, and the context that makes this result matter for the rest of the season. Stay with us all the way through. Let's get into it. Before we get into the details, it is important to understand what was at stake for the Dodgers heading into Wednesday night. Los Angeles came in having lost 2 consecutive games. The series opener against these same Mariners on Tuesday, a 7-6 gut punch in which the Dodgers blew 3 separate one-run leads and gave up 5 home runs to one of the weakest defensive teams in the American League. And before that, the series finale against the Mets in New York, another game where the bullpen failed to protect a lead late. 2 losses in a row. 3 blown leads in 2 games. Real questions building about whether the pitching staff could do its job when it mattered. The Dodgers entered Wednesday at 67 wins and 40 losses, still the best record in the National League, but consecutive losses have a way of shifting the mood inside a clubhouse. And with the August 3rd trade deadline approaching fast, every result between now and Sunday carries additional weight. The Dodgers needed a clean, convincing win. They needed someone to take the ball, go deep into the game and make the bullpen a non-issue. Eric Lauer did exactly that. Eric Lauer has been one of the most quietly valuable pieces the Dodgers have added since acquiring him from Toronto in mid-May. Coming into Wednesday, the Dodgers had won all 8 of his previous starts with the organization. He had allowed 3 or fewer runs in every single one of those outings. He had become the definition of a reliable, professional pitcher who consistently gives his team a chance to win. On Wednesday night, he took that reliability to a completely different level. Lauer retired the leadoff hitter in every single inning he pitched, 6 innings, 6 leadoff outs. That kind of consistency in the top of each inning prevents the Mariners from ever building pressure, never allows runners to pile up, and keeps the pitch count clean enough to go deep into the game. The only base runner Seattle created off him that stuck was Randy Arozarena, who reached on a throwing error by Lauer himself in the first inning. But Arozarena was stranded and the Mariners never scored. The only hit Lauer allowed across 6 full innings was a single to Cole Young in the 3rd inning. Young was immediately picked off and caught stealing, so even that 1 hit led to nothing. 1 hit. 6 innings. 0 runs. 4 strikeouts. 1 walk. 87 pitches thrown, 55 of them strikes. His record moved to 6-5 on the season, a number that dramatically undersells how well he has pitched in a Dodgers uniform. The Dodgers are now 9-0 in his starts. That is not luck. That is what a professional starting pitcher does when he prepares well, executes his game plan, and refuses to give opposing hitters anything easy to hit. Dave Roberts said after the game that Lauer competed the way he always does, with conviction, with a clear plan, and with the mental consistency that the best starting pitchers in baseball demonstrate every single time they take the mound. On a night when the Dodgers desperately needed a starter to dominate, Lauer delivered one of the best outings the rotation has produced all season. The game opened with a moment that could have gone wrong for the Dodgers very quickly. In the top of the first, Cole Young struck out swinging to open the inning. But Randy Arozarena reached base when Lauer himself committed a throwing error on a slow roller. Arozarena stole second. Dominic Canzoni was hit by a pitch, putting runners on first and second. For a moment, the Mariners had an opportunity to score first and put the Dodgers in an early hole. Lauer did not flinch. He struck out Cal Raleigh swinging to end the threat, stranding both runners and leaving the inning scoreless. And then the Dodgers answered in the most emphatic way possible. Shohei Ohtani led off the bottom of the first and struck out swinging, a reminder that even the best hitters in baseball have at-bats like that. But Andy Pages stepped in right behind him. He connected on a 95.4-mile-per-hour drive off Emerson Hancock that traveled 372 feet into the left field seats. A solo home run, his 18th of the season, that gave the Dodgers an immediate 1-0 lead. Freddie Freeman followed with a single to right field to keep the inning alive, but the Dodgers could not extend the lead further in the first. One home run from Andy Pages. And Eric Lauer had a cushion to work with before he had even thrown his second inning. The Dodgers added to their lead in the third inning through a sequence that required effort, awareness, and execution from multiple players. Dalton Rushing led off the inning but flew out to left field. Shohei Ohtani then singled to deep right field, a 98.9-mile-per-hour line drive that put him on base with one out. Andy Pages followed immediately with a single to right field, sending Ohtani to third base. Now the Dodgers had runners at first and third with one out and Freddie Freeman coming to the plate. Freeman hit a slow roller toward shallow infield, not a hard-hit ball, not the kind of contact you draw up in a game plan. But Freeman ran hard out of the box, reached first base on the infield single, and Ohtani scored easily from third to extend the Dodgers' lead to 2-0. It was the kind of run that only scores when players understand the situation, run at full effort, and take advantage of every opportunity the game provides. The fourth inning added another run in a different way. Mookie Betts opened with a single to center field. Kyle Tucker flew out. Teoscar Hernandez then drove a double to deep right center, putting runners at second and third with one out. Dalton Rushing struck out to bring up Shohei Ohtani, and the Mariners made a decision that reflected exactly how much they respect him. They intentionally walked Ohtani to load the bases. That brought up Andy Pages with the bases loaded and one out. He lined a single to shortstop at 89.6 miles per hour, scoring Mookie Betts and pushing the Dodgers ahead 3-0. Pages had now been responsible for two of the Dodgers' 3 runs, and the Mariners were running out of answers for both him and the pitcher on the mound holding them scoreless. The 6th inning provided the finishing blow for the Dodgers, and it came from the player who is always at the center of every big moment for this team. Emerson Hancock had been replaced by Michael Rucker to start the 6th. Kyle Tucker flew out. Teoscar Hernandez grounded out. 2 outs. The inning appeared to be heading nowhere. Then Dalton Rushing singled to right field to keep it alive. And Shohei Ohtani stepped into the batter's box with 2 outs and a runner on first. What happened next was the most impressive individual swing of the entire game. Ohtani drove a double to deep left center field. The StatCast data tells the story: exit velocity of 111.2 miles per hour, distance of 349 feet, launch angle of 14 degrees. A ball hit that hard into that gap gives a base runner only one option: run as fast as possible. Dalton Rushing did exactly that, accelerating all the way from first base and scoring easily to push the Dodgers ahead 4-0. 111.2 miles per hour. That is elite contact. That is the Shohei Ohtani who has been missing since the All-Star break. The version who hits the ball so hard that it becomes a run regardless of where it lands in the outfield. One swing. One run. One more confirmation that his form is returning. After that double, Andy Pages flew out to end the inning. But the damage was done. 4 runs. And Eric Lauer still had a shutout going with 3 innings to protect. Lauer completed his 6th inning by inducing a double play to end the top of the frame after Cole Young walked. A clean, efficient finish to an extraordinary outing. He walked off the mound having thrown just 87 pitches, allowed just 1 hit, and kept the Mariners completely off the scoreboard for 6 full innings. Alex Vesia came on for the 7th and handled the Mariners in order. Julio Rodriguez flew out, Dominic Canzoni flew out, Cal Raleigh walked but Josh Naylor flew out to strand him. 3 up, 3 out effectively. Tanner Scott took the 8th and ran into trouble. Weston Wilson doubled to deep left center to open the inning. After a flyout, Cole Young singled to deep left center to score Wilson and cut the Dodgers' lead to 4-1. It was the first run the Dodgers had allowed all night, and it came from Tanner Scott rather than the Mariners doing anything against Lauer. Randy Arozarena then hit into a force out to end the inning with Seattle on the board but still 3 runs behind. The 7th inning also featured a double play that killed a Dodgers rally. Tommy Edman popped out and Max Muncy was doubled off first, ending what could have been an opportunity to extend the lead further. But at 4-1 heading into the 9th, the Dodgers were in a comfortable position. The moment every Dodgers fan had circled on their calendar arrived in the top of the 9th. Edwin Diaz jogged in from the bullpen, his first appearance in 85 days after undergoing surgery to remove loose bodies from his right elbow. The crowd inside Dodger Stadium gave him a welcome that reflected exactly how important his return is to this team's October plans. Diaz had been one of the most dominant closers in all of baseball before the injury. His absence had left a real hole at the back of the Dodgers' bullpen all summer. The ninth inning was not perfectly clean. Julio Rodriguez flew out immediately to start it. But then Dominic Canzoni doubled to left field to put a runner in scoring position. Cal Raleigh flew out to deep right, advancing Canzoni to third. And Josh Naylor delivered an RBI double to right field, scoring Canzoni and cutting the deficit to 4-2. The Mariners had the tying run at the plate. Luke Raley came up to pinch hit for Rob Refsnyder with 2 outs and the game suddenly feeling a little less comfortable. But Diaz got Raley to line out to shallow right field. Freddie Freeman made the catch, and the game was over. Final score, Dodgers 4, Mariners 2. Diaz had his 5th save of the season. The Dodgers had their win. His line was not perfect. 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 earned run, but this was his first competitive appearance in nearly 3 months. The rust was expected. The results were acceptable. And the bigger picture is what matters. Edwin Diaz is back. The best closer on this roster is available again. And that changes the entire equation of how Dave Roberts manages late-inning situations for the rest of the regular season and into October. Let us look at the complete statistical picture of Wednesday's game, because the numbers tell a story that goes beyond just the final score. Andy Pages, 3 hits in 4 at-bats, 1 home run, 2 RBIs. He drove in the first and third Dodgers runs, homered in his very first at-bat of the game, and continued the exceptional second half that has established him as one of the most productive hitters in the entire Dodgers lineup. His 70 RBIs on the season are second on the roster and a number that most fans outside Los Angeles have not yet fully appreciated. Shohei Ohtani, 2 hits in 3 official at-bats, 1 RBI, 1 intentional walk. His 6th inning double at 111.2 miles per hour was the hardest hit ball of the entire game by either team. Back-to-back productive games after a 9-game home run drought and a difficult stretch since the All-Star break are encouraging signs that his timing and contact quality are returning to normal levels. Eric Lauer, 6 innings, 1 hit, 0 runs, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 87 pitches. The Dodgers are now 9-0 in his starts. That line speaks entirely for itself. The Dodgers finished with 11 hits. The Mariners had 5. The final score of 4-2 was closer than the game actually felt, because the only run Seattle scored came in the 8th and 9th innings against the bullpen, long after Lauer had completely controlled the outcome. Here is the bottom line from Wednesday night at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers won cleanly. Their starter was untouchable. Their offense produced timely hits from their 2 most important contributors. Their closer returned from injury and recorded the save. And a 2-game losing streak that had generated real questions about the pitching staff was ended in the most emphatic way possible, by a left-hander who has now given Los Angeles a winning result in 9 consecutive outings. The August 3rd trade deadline arrives in 3 days. Tyler Glasnow threw 2 live innings in a bullpen session on Wednesday and is expected to begin a rehab assignment next. Blake Snell continues progressing toward his own return. The roster is getting healthier. The depth is increasing. The Dodgers are 68 wins and 40 losses. They are the best team in the National League. They are the favorites to represent the senior circuit in the World Series. And after Wednesday night, with Diaz back, with Lauer reliable, with Ohtani finding his swing again, they look exactly like the team that was built to be standing at the end. Roki Sasaki takes the mound Thursday in the series finale against Mariners right-hander Bryce Miller. After what Eric Lauer delivered on Wednesday, the momentum is firmly in the Dodgers' favor. 1 game at a time. The destination is October. And Los Angeles is right on track to get there. That is all for today. Smash that like button, subscribe to Baseball Tribune, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a story. Drop a comment below. How impressive was Eric Lauer on Wednesday night, and are you excited about Diaz being back? We want to hear from every fan watching. Share this with every Dodgers fan you know. We will see you in the next one right here on Baseball Tribune.